everybody, I'm back to do another video. This is my third day of the 100-day challenge, and so this is my second video for this particular website. I've been doing some thinking, as I said in my first introduction, that I've been having problems with my employment. So I'm trying to pick up the pieces and move forward. So I have decided to focus on 4 areas here in California to rebuild my life, and hopefully I can find work as a general contractor. As far as me redeveloping a relationship with my previous employers, I feel as though I left on good terms. Now, and I've always did a good job for them. The only thing I really expect from them is to give me a decent reference. This is a very weird system. I record in the bathroom because this is like the only place where I have really good lighting. But anyway, you know, I feel as though, you know, fair is fair, and I've always done a good job for my employers, and I have always been what I call an ideal employee. I've never created any issues in the workplace, so I'm going to trust that they are going to understand that I have been a dedicated person. I have not done anything against them. I've been completely cooperative, and hopefully they will too. I am very much looking forward to meeting new people and redeveloping business relationships, as well as, you know, personal friendships. And I do realize, you know, I understand how people are. True friends are very, very hard to find. But, you know, I would love to work as a team. And I think one of the misconceptions about me is that I'm not able to work in a team because of the workplace mobbing. And they've gotten things confused because nobody likes to be singled out. Nobody likes to have 4 or 5 people hovering over their desk. Nobody likes to be judged on frivolous questions. And this is exactly the issue that I'm talking about, is when you're working in an environment that lacks the professionalism and the ability to evaluate employees correctly or fellow coworkers correctly. They're basing it on things that are frivolous, and it becomes a bullying issue. And, you know, I would encourage a lot of employers to adopt anti-bullying policies in their workplace, because this is a problem that affects many people. I'm not the only person who's done it. Obviously, I've, you know, been watching a lot of videos from Activism of Care. There's a lot of people who are in this program. What I mean by program is where people are manipulating their employment. And these are usually star workers, people who are really dedicated to what they're doing. And that's exactly what I have done. And, you know, anyway, my point is that I am moving on, and I'm trying to focus on building positive relationships and being able to go into a workplace where people may know me. I'm not exactly sure how widespread this issue is, but people might know me, but they're basing it off of misconceptions. I am very team-oriented. Just because I'm an autonomous person, yes, I do my learning in an autonomous way. I tend to focus better. I can write notes. I can cross-reference. I can get all the information that I need, and then it processes in my brain, and then I like to demonstrate it on paper, like creating a spreadsheet based off of what I learned or whatever. And so this is how I learn. But as far as working as a group, yes, I'm all for working as a group. As a matter of fact, I have great strategic planning, and I think methodically, and I can map out how things could actually work in a productive way. So I am very team-oriented. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find a lot of companies that can work in a team, because, not saying that if this particular person or people were not coming in and sending emails or calling it and sabotaging my job, I could have been successful in all of them. I have had more success in others than, you know, more than others, but for the most part, I feel as though I've done my job. My accounting is good. My note-keeping is good. My records are good. Without the bullying, yes, I do know my software programs, you know. People think just because I don't like modern technology that I don't keep up with what I'm supposed to do in the office, and that's another misconception. Moving forward, I tend to veer off right here. Usually I write out a script, but these are just, basically they're just therapeutic mind blather that I just need to get out of my head. But my goal is to move forward, to develop relationships, and and replace. You can never replace your family, but I'm hoping to make family out of new friends. Where we can celebrate holidays with them, not all the time, but every once in a while. Things are changing in my life, and I need to build my life over again, and that's the most important thing. It's difficult for me to contact people now because I feel as though too much has happened to where it's just too awkward, and I don't want to have to pretend or fake any feelings. And I'm not the kind of person that can hide those feelings. Compulsive liars have no problem being two-faced, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people in the workplace, when they mob, they're so good at it. They don't have a conscience. And there was a time in my life, I've gotten to this point on a learning process. There was a time in my life where I could have just been, I was pretty much a lot like that, in certain phases. Now, mind you, I did have a sense of spirituality, but in a pinch, I didn't see anything wrong with throwing somebody under the bus. I'm not saying that I did this for a very long time, but yes, everybody is guilty of it at one point or another. I would say that I've never done anything quite this severe to somebody, mind you. But you learn from your experiences. And since this has happened to me, and I've seen exactly how devastated I am, and I realize I would never do that to somebody. I've always known never to mess with people's employment anyway. But once again, I'm getting off the topic. The topic is moving forward, and I'm trying to be as positive as I can. I have to make a lot of phone calls. I know that some of the ads, because of the baiting issue, some of these people were playing games, setting up appointments, knowing good and well they had no intentions of hiring me. And so I'd go to their stupid interview and waste my time. I don't have time to waste. I don't have money to waste. I have to be very straightforward and direct. And hopefully some of them will be open to having job interviews via Skype. If not, then I will have to make the trek down there. I'm a determined person. I'm in a situation, I'm in a town right now that is very uncooperative. They don't want me working here. And that could be the issue because of whoever was the instigator. I suspect my family was the instigator of creating all the mobbing issues, and this town could just very well be sick of it. They might have gotten so tired of my family being stupid that they're just like, I just don't want you here. Because whatever the reason why they don't want me here is not because of something I've done, and that's something I really need to stress. I have done absolutely nothing. I have always handled myself in a professional manner. I know not to screw, previous employers because it reflects on you. I was a single parent, so I understand the value of having a good reputation. So I'm serious. What other people get away with in the office, I don't even try. Because I realize how difficult it can be for me to find a job. I don't have the big network that a lot of other people have. They can call their friend over, or they're friends with a family who owns a business. I don't have that, and especially since my account has been my email account. Of course, these are people I've never really counted on anyway. These were people I would just say hi and bye to. I've never really developed those kind of relationships. And in later videos, I will explain why. I've always been kind of a loner for the most part. I think it has a lot to do with my personality, but like I said, I will explain that. So the issue is I'm trying to keep myself positive. I'm trying to be, more positive, stop focusing on all the negative. I'm trying to forget about, the things that have happened to me, but I will keep it in the back of my mind because it's a learning process, and to make sure that, that shouldn't happen again. And I'm going to be very careful about the things that I say because I don't want to be ambiguous in any way so where people can misinterpret what I say, because this has become a problem. Just because you take a stand and say, you can't discriminate against religion doesn't mean this is a religious war. I'm basically referencing the law. And people can take things out of context, and I'm sure a lot of TIs enter this system based off people's misunderstandings. So, being positive, got up this morning, started thinking, okay, where is it that I could possibly live? I can't travel all over the gosh darn place. So I'm thinking, okay, let's figure out 4 different places, focus on it, make some phone calls, do what you have to do, and just go out there. I don't know what else to do. I have to work. And people might look at me because, my partner comes from an ex-Christian background, or my partner is also a different race than I am, I'm still a human being. And, I expect people to respect the fact that they may not like me as a person, but I do have a right to exist, and I do have a right to make a living for myself. And so I'm trying to look at, focus on what I can bring to a person's business, the positive sides of this, trying to be enthusiastic. I'm trying not to think of, all the negativity that has happened and has occurred. And I'm actually going to, this weekend, try to have a little time just to kind of meditate and focus on finally cleansing myself of this issue. And I remember one time I was really, really hurt about something in the 90s. And I spoke with somebody, and they said, you need to really think about what you did, write it on a piece of paper, and dwell on it for 3 more days, just 3 more days. Dwell on it, talk about it, get pissed off, whatever you have to do, conjure up all your feelings, punch a bag or whatever, for 3 whole days. It's like this whole day, a time period of just anger, rage, crying, whatever. And then take a piece of paper on the last day and burn it and let the wind just blow it away. And honestly, because I watched all these steps play out in my mind, this isn't magic or anything. It's a psychological thing. It's actually making something happen and putting these steps in your mind so that you can actually carry them out. It's like implanting subliminal messages into your mind, and it was beneficial for me. So this weekend, I'm going to basically mourn the deaths of all these people who betrayed me and completely put me in this situation. I'm going to hold on to it for 3 days, and I'm going to go out somewhere and just let it blow away. And I want to cleanse myself of it. And this is what I need to do to heal. And some people might think, well, can't you just reform those bonds? To me, it's too much. Too much. You went too far, a little too much, and, it just has to be that way, because I literally wake up sometimes and think about ex-employers in my face talking to me, or people who I thought I could trust, and they're in my face, and I literally just get sick to my stomach. So that's an indication to me that it's time to move on, and that's one of the things I'm going to do to move on. Right now, I'm focusing on all the great things I can do, everything that I can present to a workplace, the positive behavior, and just being a contributor, an assistant to the business owners that I'm helping. I'm hoping if I would like to have a full-time position, but work as a contractor, and I'm hoping that I could find somebody who would be willing to do that and work with me. And maybe one day things will change, who knows, maybe I can wing it, once I start working for somebody, maybe I could save up enough money to, get a better computer and start offering more services or whatever. But right now, I have to start from ground zero, and this is what I'm doing. And I have to remember, I'm not the only person that this has happened to. I know a lot of people who basically had issues with their employment and picked themselves up. But the biggest issue that I'm facing, and I'm being realistic, is my reputation. Because of this misconception, it has damaged my reputation, and it has made people like, ooh, I don't really know. And the thing is, all I can do is reassure people that no, I'm very accepting of people and their faith and their beliefs, and I believe all of them are valid, and I support people. You can pray in front of me, you can do whatever you want to do. I respect what you're doing, and that's your life, okay? But I am a goal-oriented person, and I'm interested in somebody who's interested in my skills and my talent, who are interested in utilizing them. And that's what I'm focusing on. And do I have a sense of humor at work? Yes, I do. I know that I'm a good conversationalist. Yes, I'm a likable person. I believe I'm a likable person. I was watching a video a couple of days ago about, people saying that when they're TIs, they get convinced that something's wrong with them. I'm going to tell you what, I was never convinced that I was wrong. That's one of the reasons why it was easy for me to shut my office door on people when I knew that this was going on, because I knew something was wrong, and I knew that it was nothing that I did, because I was basing it on the correct things. Once again, I'm getting off conversation. Moving forward, so I'm trying to take things one day at a time. I got to make my phone calls. I'm trying to figure out where we can live. How we're going to get there, I don't know. If it turns out I can find a job somewhere, then I might move there for a while and then save up money and bring him. I don't know how this is going to work out. Unfortunately, these people have put me in a position where I have to figure all this out on my own, and it's overwhelming. I'm being booted out of a town. This is a part of my anger, and I'm definitely going to talk about this or meditate on this weekend. I'm a part of a town that I've done nothing, and they put me in this situation. They're making no accommodations for me whatsoever. And I understand I'm not somebody who's trying to have my hands out by any means, but to me that's just goddamn cruel. I mean, I can't think of anything more evil than that. It just